Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Earlier today, I watched a video on YouTube that I will feature part of it in my video with an incident that occurred in London. Not in a subdivision or a neighborhood, a dirty neighborhood, where, according to the panel, there are going to be 5 people. There are going to be 4 invitees and the host. Talking about the incident, what happened? Someone on TikTok said, you know what, these guys, or let's rob or loot a store. And that person or those persons gave a certain time in the daylight to meet over there and loot the store. The police showed up and they started fighting with the teenagers. And we have the panel. They're going to be the host, as I said, and then it's going to be, it's unbelievable. I want you to pay attention to each person invited over there, from what angle they will look at the issues. It's like they were given, I don't know, issue cards. You discuss this, you discuss this, you discuss this, and you discuss this. One is going to talk about the TikTok, the media. The other one is going to talk about the cultural thing. The other guy is going to be, I think, is the most, the one that I really, I will point him out to you. He's going to talk about the youth, and the other one is going to talk about the police in Great Britain. And it's unbelievable that such a thing exists. I would like to pay attention to when I play the video. It's going to about, I don't know, about 4 minutes or so, 3-4 minutes. You find it online as well. And pay attention to people involved in the planned looting, to their clothes, their faces, and all that. I would like you to pay attention to that, okay? So let's go to the video here. And it's ready, set, go.
But first, chaotic scenes erupted on London's Oxford Street this afternoon as police rallied to control crowds of youths after a social media-fueled campaign to rob a high street shop went viral. 3 young men were detained by the Met Police as officers scrambled to control the mob. One officer was even punched during their efforts to protect shops and disperse the crowds. Police units have been stationed on the UK's biggest high street since yesterday after a TikTok video encouraging social media users to rob a branch of JD Sports was widely shared online. The post tells users to bring balaclavas and gloves and to gather at 3 p.m. today.
During the day,
order has been put in place in the area until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, which gives police the power to ban people from the area for 48 hours. A number of things occur to me. The first thing is, how difficult is it to find the first person who actually said, go and do this? How difficult can it be? Well, I mean, I don't do TikTok, so I don't know. But surely you go, there's the tweet, arrest that man or woman, or they, whoever they are.
But it's not a real account. It's a fake account, obviously.
So this is the media guy.
This is lawless Britain, completely out of hand. You've got social media.
TikTok's worldwide, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and essentially that Chinese has allowed an advert, essentially advertising and promoting lawless shoplifting and theft. And they didn't take it down.
They didn't take it down. They advertised it. They didn't take it down. So this is the media. And he's going to tell us a story why his little story was pulled down. But look at him. He wears a pink tie. So listen to him.
Gender questioning. And I was taken down and cancelled for hate speech and inciting violence. TikTok have got serious questions to answer.
Yeah, they really have.
But that doesn't in any way excuse the lawlessness that's going on literally as we speak. The videos circulating on social media. I mean, this is unbelievable.
The good thing is,
this is social media.
That they knew it was happening, or they knew that, so therefore they were at least prepared. I mean, the worry is the success of this might actually mean that other people go, do you know what? That's actually not a bad idea.
I agree, and I think you've got to ask yourself, what is the culture that has allowed people to think they can get away with behaving like this? And actually, most of them did get away with behaving like that. There could be an argument that every single person that attended purely to answer that call of let's go and make a raid on JD Sports is culpable of something.
So she's the culture person in this panel. And the third one is the one that I have the biggest issue with, actually, because he's going to use the age argument, and I will immediately use a counter-age argument, of course.
Other countries where people actually fear the judicial system, they just wouldn't be doing this.
But this is just kids, unfortunately. You talk about lawless Britain. This isn't a bunch of 40-year-olds.
They're not kids, they're young people.
They're kids. These are
They're
teenagers.
not actual kids.
These are kids. They're just teenagers. Are you kidding me? It's just kids, just teenagers. Really? So if a teenager will try to rape someone, you're just gonna argue that he's a teenager? Just kids? They're just kids. Listen to this guy.
And in other countries where people actually fear the judicial system, they just wouldn't be doing this.
But this is just kids, unfortunately. You talk about lawless Britain. This isn't a bunch of 40-year-olds.
They're not kids, they're young people.
They're kids. These are
They're
teenagers.
not
It's expected, because that's the way you guys behaved, right? That's the guy, I know your parents behaved as kids. Went and started robbing because no, they could, right? I never heard this before happening in a civilized society, but hey, this is the new Great Britain, I guess, or England specifically.
At all, I'm sorry.
But
that is
listen,
utterly,
but let me finish.
Utterly,
Let me finish.
that is
But the fact is, these are young people who aren't scared of the consequences of the law. They think 10 minutes a game. They go down there, they run around the shops. A couple of them go in and get arrested. Nothing happens to the rest of them. And that's it. The police have done a good job.
He switched from jumping, it's just kids, into, yeah, they shouldn't do, they don't know what they're doing, there's no consequences. He switched immediately from defending, oh, it's just kids. No, it's just those kids, boy. Jesus Christ.
But unfortunately, you have to send down an army there to stop all of those kids and arrest all of them.
Because it looks like, from the latest videos I've just seen, that you have got essentially huge quantities. You've gone down to sort of just test it, see what's there, and then possibly just wade into lots of other stores as huge quantities of goods, and essentially just too many for the police to deal with.
This
We
is
have
the
the fourth
epicenter
one
of
right here.
our new shoplifting culture, isn't
Yeah.
it? This was always going to happen. I mean,
This is always going to happen. No, it's not going to happen always. If you implement the right culture, it didn't happen 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Maybe some hooligans coming from a football game where their, team lost and they're drunk as pigs. Yeah, that could have happened and not loot. You see it here in America when people are outraged for whatever reason, and they go and start taking other people's property because they are outraged.
shoplifters get away with it at will now. Staff are told not to tackle them. The companies have policies whereby, as long as it's less than £1,000 or something, they just don't bother with it. The police will not investigate, and this was always going to happen.
This is
and it
always
will happen
going to
more.
happen.
It will get
And
worse.
I think the
It
government
will happen more. Hey, boy, it shouldn't. Jesus.
have got to cut. So it is about lawless Britain. It's so ludicrous the number of offences that the police think are beneath them now and will not investigate or arrest. And the government have got to come down on TikTok like a ton of bricks.
But surely it's an
It's TikTok. So it's not the culture, it's not the permissive culture that we actually live in. It is the TikTok. Well, TikTok is as it is. But see, a lot of things happen. Let's say those guys said, let's go and do that. Now, would you go and do it? No. McDonald's tell us, come and eat burgers, go and get fat as a pig. Would you do it? Some do. Some don't. So it's a personal decision after all. Now, he says, it's just kids. It's just kids. It's just kids? Well, if they're kids, where are the parents? Where are the parents? What are the parents doing? And again, the kids went over there. There should be consequences. I'm talking about law. Law enforcement gets in there, get them, and take care of them. Juvenile home, right there. Arrest them, put in front of a judge, juvenile court, and then go to a little juvenile home for, 3 months, 4 months to a program. I'm very familiar with that. And then you come out and you're going to do it again, because that's the way it usually happens. They say, no. Well, so here it is. I didn't like the guy. It's just kids. And the guy says, well, it's too many of them would happen anyway. No, it wouldn't happen. It's the culture. the culture that unfortunately the future generation will act upon more and more. These guys will be the future leaders of this country and that country and that country. In the Western world, something like this with teenagers never happened 20 years ago. 30, never, I use never, 30, 40, 50 years ago in London or any civilized society. So anyway, just kids. I'm pretty sure that if those kids will just molest one of that guy's, the third panelist kids, or I don't know, God forbid, rape one of his family members, I'm pretty sure he would not be so dismissive and understanding. But he switched when the guy said, excuse me, no, what? He switched. But he started with, it's just kids. Maybe I didn't understand it right, but I don't care. What I heard. And the police got punched, arrested, and TikTok. People advertise other bullshit, drinking Pepsi or Coca-Cola. You don't have to do it. And many other garbage of food and drinks. It's just personal decision. The same with these guys with, with loans, school loans. Oh my God, they did. No, it's personal decision. Your own behavior. You don't have to do it. You have to plan. If you don't plan, there are consequences. You're gonna blame the police officer for stopping you for speeding under, speeding above the speed limit? Because why? Well, I didn't see it or whatever. I'm for no speed limits just to start with. Maybe, in the cities I would say, but once you're outside the city, no speed limits. That's how I see it. Why? Personal responsibility. And if you don't have it, well, freedom. What do you think? The 70 mile per hour will save more than 71 miles per hour? Or what? Why not 69? Why 70? I'm just giving you the freeway, or 75, or who said 75 is the magic number? Why not 74? Why not 73? Why not 50? Why not 0? Don't drive. We're going to be all sterile. No accidents anymore. Okay, so, you can't, if you teach a society to be in a certain way responsible, then you wouldn't have certain things. I'm going to give you an example. Iceland. Remember that country, Iceland? In Iceland, it has a certain kind of culture where you go with the babies in a stroller in the winter, and you leave the stroller outside, the mothers leave the stroller outside of the shops. They go inside shopping, and you see 5, 6, 7, 8 strollers with babies in there. Nobody takes those babies. That's a culture. They go in, nobody calls CPS, Child Protection Services. Oh my God! And they're over there bundled, and they wait until the mother comes after, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, takes the kids and leaves. That's the culture. Personal responsibility, it's a culture. Well, bring more Romanians over there or whatever, and you're going to have a Romanian flavor of a culture. Or bring, people from other cultures, and they will bring their flavor. Like United States of America, we have all kind of flavors. Leave here a child unattended on a side of a road in a store, at the store, and see what happens. Personal responsibility? No, we have diversity. I'm not blaming that much, but I'm just pointing out that the culture is formed by a cohesion in a society, by certain norms agreed upon, and that's could exist. And I give you the example, as I just gave, Iceland. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Great Britain, England changes into some different kind of culture that it did not have 30 years ago. Why? I don't know. You know the answer. I know the answer. Everybody knows the answer, but we just pretend we are not smart enough to understand it, or maybe we are cowards. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.